house that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zada.
And I'm Kelly. And you're listening to
Two Sides and the Truth. And we're about to wing the shit out of this.
You're welcome. It's going to get weird.
I'm going to put this out there. We came yesterday to record. And I had an emotional breakdown, and Kelly had to be my best friend for a moment. I'm having a rough week. I'm not going to go into details. My kid's still alive, is all I can say.
I'm so happy to hear
I hadn't killed
that.
a child that might need it.
So happy.
Yes. And so yesterday when I came up here to record, Kelly had to talk me off a ledge. And so we're back today, and we're winging it. Like, we planned a little bit. I started getting upset yesterday. We stopped planning, and now we're starting off where we started, and we never finished planning.
Well, that's a really good just lesson, though, right there. Sometimes you have to stop what you're doing when you have a friend or anybody that's in front of you that's in need, and you need to ask them, what can I do for you? And that's
you did that for
what
me
I did.
yesterday.
And it turned out that we just needed to sit here and talk and
Be friends.
And then we hung out for a minute, and that you got to reset sometimes. You just got to.
It helped a lot. And I'm y'all, okay, in the studio here, we have windows and such, and you can see outside. And Al is remodeling it used to be a hair salon next door to us.
Mm-hmm.
And to walk out of the hair salon, you have to walk past our glass doors. And this is why I just laughed, because that's my childhood best friend's son that just walked by. And I was like, oh, hey, Zach.
What up, Zach?
I'm serious. So I was like, that's why I laughed. I was like, that's Zach. What's he doing?
Oh my
Walking through the
gosh, you
studio.
know everybody in this town.
You see my shirt? My shirt.
Small town famous, girl.
Yeah, thank you, Jenna. Jenna bought this for me. I didn't buy it.
Shout out to you, Jenna.
Thank you. Anyway, so we got a few things to talk about. We're going to start with my weekend, because I had a kind of an unusual weekend for me at the cabin. I planned a girls' weekend.
Yep.
And but very last minute, literally on Tuesday for Friday, and then Saturday. I pushed it back to Saturday, and no one could do it. They could, but they couldn't. It was just an ordeal. It was last minute.
Yeah, it was just nobody's schedules ended up being open. Not even mine, and usually I'm always wide open.
I know, and I only invited 4 people, maybe. I mean, I didn't overboard. This was just supposed to be a very small, intimate group. I wasn't trying to have a big girls' weekend. I knew I'd be cleaning the cabin for the season.
Yeah.
But I thought, if I'm going to be there cleaning, I'll bring some friends, no one could make it. And I mean, not a big deal. If I'd asked more people, I could have found some people, but I was cool with what it was.
Yeah.
So I get there Friday night, and I get there pretty late. I'm just going to tell you all about the whole weekend. And I get there pretty late. And when you get there, it's 2.5 hours from here, but I am the queen of stops.
Yes.
Especially when there is nobody keeping track of me.
Yeah.
And I can be there whenever I want.
There's nobody to rush you or.
I wasn't meeting anyone. There was no rush, And so I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to take my time, So I did stop a few times and chill out. I had dinner on the way, and I stopped and ate by myself and had a margarita and fajitas.
I love it.
I was like, cool, let's go.
Treat yourself 2023.
Yeah. So, I traveled down there. It took me a few hours. I get there. I turn off the main road to the country road to the cabin. And on the country road, for the first half mile of the country road, and it's a gravel dirt road, it's a country road. Yeah. Usually on the left and the right is all ranch land, no house for the first half miles. And I turn on, and it's 10 o'clock at night ish. And I immediately notice there is somebody in a field. There's a van, a white van, I'm gonna kidnap you, white van.
Yeah, creeper moment.
Yeah, but it's in the field.
Even worse.
Which means, and you can't just get in a field. You have to go through a ditch and shit, And this is not just any field. This is not a tame field. This is not a been farmed field. This is a ranch field with cattle, trees, tall grass, cactus, whatever, rattlesnakes. And it's rattlesnake season here.
Sure is.
And so I was like, what's that? What's going on there? What is going on? This is weird. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And as I pull up and look closer, now mind you, I always carry. I'm just gonna put this out there. So I have my gun. Literally, my hand is on my gun.
Forewarning.
Because I'm by myself. I'm traveling by myself. So I look. I'm like, what is going on? I get up closer and closer, and it is this hippie guy. Not a hippie. He looks like he lives possibly on the beach in Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like frosted tips, long hair, and it's like doesn't look like it's been washed recently. But he's like, you know,
Did he have his shirt on?
I don't know.
You didn't get that close?
I don't know if it was that day or the next time I saw him a day later. He didn't have a shirt on, but at one point he did not.
No. See.
But I mean, he was an attractive young guy. I mean, he looked like he's probably like 30-ish, you know, young 30s. And he had 2 little kids with him. And they have a van. The van is lit up. All the doors are open. That's all I can see because it's nighttime and it's pitch black out there. But he has everything lit up so I can see. I'm almost positive he had like some kind of light fixture set up so he could see too outside. But the grass is still really high. I'm talking like 3 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall, somewhere around there. And there's 2 little kids, like so little that just their heads are popping out of the grass. And I'm like, what is going on? Because at night you're pretty safe. It's rattlesnake season. Like you don't just go in tall grass in a field. Like you have to be cautious and aware and, you know. And I'm thinking, this is weird. So I pull up and I'm going to make sure they're not just like, they didn't wreck. Because they're in a field, you know.
Down.
And he's waving at me like Forrest Gump on the like deck when he's waving at Lieutenant Dan. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, this is what is going on? So I pull up, I roll my window down partially. I'm like, everything good? Y'all okay? Oh, just waving at my new neighbors. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Y'all good? Everything's safe? Yep, we're safe. I was like, okay, well, y'all have a lovely evening. I'm not here to talk. So I leave. I go to the cabin. I did go back and check on the situation the next day.
That's smart.
Just to see what was up. He was there again, but this time I saw his wife. And they were putting in like a driveway in that where the like thing is. So they're building they bought the property, obviously.
Oh.
I would guess they're from California. I don't know. It looked like they were living in the van.
Yeah.
But I think only like my guess was they come for the weekends and work on it and then they go to wherever they live.
Yeah.
You know, probably Austin, honestly, you know, Texas, California.
Yeah.
That's only an hour and a half away-ish. Hour and 10 minutes away, really, from San Saba. So it didn't take long. So I'm just like, okay, so... You know, they were talking to a neighbor at this point, and you would know the neighbor, and I'm just going to give everybody a visual idea. There is somebody out there that I don't know who they are, but they drive a car, and they pull a trailer with it all the time. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
He was the one talking to them. He looked just as crazy as him.
They're starting a whole clan.
I know. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then I wanted to stop and be like, hey, dude, you got these little kids in this tall grass. This is rattlesnake season. This is no joke. Like, this is real. Yeah. Like, they'll get you.
Yeah, they will.
And you'll die. The kid will die, you know. But he was talking to someone. I didn't want to be rude and be like, hey, dude, be a better parent. No, I wasn't going to do that. So then when I drove back by when I was leaving, they were at the very back of the property. I was planning to talk to them, but they were at the very back of the property, so I couldn't. But they had left like their car seat and other stuff just randomly sitting in that field in that tall grass.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, they do not know what they're doing.
But you know what? Survival of the fittest sometimes. You know what I mean?
I customized it, y'all. So that's one story of the weekend, but that's not the real story. I had to take a sip of my whiskey. The real story is, so I get there and it's pretty much the middle of the night and I'm by myself. And the cabin's a little scary at night by yourself.
I would definitely say it would be.
There's no curtains. You're in the middle of nowhere.
It's low key creepy even when you have people.
We are pretty sure it's haunted.
We are 100% sure, actually.
Yeah, but it's my mom, so I feel pretty comfortable.
I mean, yeah, they're nice. They're nice.
Yeah, she's like, girl, clean up more. She's just upset with me for not cleaning more. So I get there and I unlock it and I go inside and I'm like, all right, what do I do now? And it's pretty late, but I don't want to like instantly go to bed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess I'll check everything out, you know, cause I've only been there like one time this season when we went with that winter trip, but Erica was there like 2 weeks ago and Erica and Darla like kicked some ass and they did a lot of work. I could tell they did a lot of work.
Good job, lady.
And so I was like, hell yeah. I looked around. I was like, hell yeah. Walk around the house. I turn on the sprinklers because, you know, we have moss in front of the house. Like around the house, there's moss that keeps the house cool and helps prevent like fires and it helps like keep the ground saturated. Anyways, and it's beautiful. So I went to like, you know, get the sprinklers going. And then I come back in the cabin and I'm like, all right. So I brought whiskey. So I start drinking some whiskey and I'm like, I guess I'm going to like start cleaning. And normally I'd go to bed. You know, I'm an early bird, but I'm wide awake because I'm there.
Yeah.
So I did a little cleaning and, you know, singing, dancing to myself, having a good night. And then I go to bed and I wake up early in the morning and I'm like, all right, what do I do now? So I go down to the river by myself. And, y'all, I'm usually not by myself. So this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
You're always with me.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, all right, I'm going to go down to the river. So I made myself some coffee and I walked down to the river and I get down there and a big deer like runs across the river right in front of me and runs to the other side of the river and like staring at me the whole time. Like, what are you doing here? Well, I'm like, what are you doing here?
This is my stretch of river.
So I chill out on the river for a second and check it out. And then I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to go start working on stuff, you know. So I go up there and have my coffee and make myself a little something to eat and start cleaning and doing whatever I'm going to do. And, you know, this is for anyone that doesn't listen all the time, this is my family property. And this has been in my family a long time. And my grandfather built the house, which is my mom's dad. I was very close to my mom. And it's just a special place for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, and my brother and I spent a lot of time there together, and he's passed. Mom's passed. So, you know, I'm chilling out. I'm listening to music. I'm cleaning. I'm talking to my mom and brother, you know, because I'm crazy. And, you know, having a good time. My sister-in-law comes by, and we visit for a while. And then she leaves, and she's there for like 3 or 4 hours. And then I'm like, well, and by then it's like dinner time. So I'm like, I guess I'm going to make myself dinner, you know. So I made myself dinner. And then nothing big. And then I'm like, oh, and I like pack no food. Once I realized no one was coming, I didn't. Oh.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. Once I realized nobody was coming, I was just not real worried about food because I don't really cook for myself. I cook for others.
Yeah.
It's my love language. It's not a priority. So I didn't bring a single snack.
Oh.
For a whole weekend. I
just snack on Jack Daniels?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
I did.
That's a good snack.
I mean, it was delicious. And so I was like, okay, so I did that. And then I cleaned. It looks amazing. I got a lot done. And I'm like, what do I do now? So she leaves. I make myself dinner. And then I had planned, because I was like, if I'm by myself, I brought some like Epsom salt bath stuff. We have these claw foot tubs. Mm-hmm. So I cleaned it out real good and I made myself this warm Epsom salt like bubble bath. And then I brought my glass of whiskey in there and I had my music playing and I just had the best like hour of relaxing.
That sounds amazing.
Got out of there, put on my robe and my nightgown, and I decided I'm going for a walk down the driveway because it's a pretty long walk. So it's
a nice walk, too.
It is a nice walk. And when my sister-in-law was there, she says to me, so did you talk to your dead people? Because everybody knows that the cabin is like my connection to my brother, my grandfather, and my mother, and, you know. And I was like, yeah, I did. Because I talked to them anyways.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you've ever lost someone really close, you will find yourself talking to them. Mm-hmm. It might be one sentence like, bitch, did you see that? I saw that. You know what I mean? So I'm like going to go for this walk. So I've made myself another whiskey. Yes, y'all. I drank the whole weekend by myself.
Why not, girl?
If you're cleaning house all weekend by yourself, what else is there to do?
Yeah, you got to entertain yourself.
I mean, I wasn't drunk. I never got drunk because I spun it out through the whole day. But so I make myself a glass and I'm on the porch. And my brother, when we used to do our girls' weekends, and he would go with us there because he would be the one guy. He would be my brother and all the girls. And he would always sit in this one chair because he was not in the best health at the time. So he'd sit in this one chair and just kind of take in what we were doing. He didn't even talk a lot. Like he would just take it all in.
Yeah.
And he's a talker, so that was kind of funny. And so he had a chair on the inside he sat in, and that he always sat in. And then he had a chair on the porch he always sat in. So I go onto the porch and I'm about to take the walk and I've made my drink and I'm looking and I'm thinking about what Bonnie said to me about, did you talk to your dead people? Which I had just randomly throughout the day. And I look over at the chair and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's where he'd be sitting.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, who do you talk to? And I'm saying this out loud. Mm-hmm. Who do you talk to when they're dead? Like I'm talking to you, but what do I look at? Do I look at the sun? Do I look at the moon? Do I look at the chair? What do you look at when you're by yourself and you're talking to someone dead?
Yeah.
And my mom and him. So I'm talking to both of them. And I'm like, what am I supposed to look at? I mean, I know Zol sits there. Should I be sitting at Zol? Should I be like talking to Zol's chair?
Yeah.
And I don't really know where my mom would be sitting because this is not where my mom and we hung out together there as a kid, but we were outside because they were building it.
Yeah.
So I was like, Mom, I don't know where you'd be sitting. I'm going to guess right there. Do I look right there? Like I'm like saying this.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of making a joke out of it. Like I'm being funny. And so I just kind of make a joke of it. And then I walked down the steps and I was like, it'd be a lot. And I said this out loud. It'd be a lot easier if I could talk to someone live. And I have an ongoing thing where I tell them both, you died too soon and you pissed me off. Like I'm a little mad about it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I said. Like now I got to talk to fucking chairs.
Yeah.
Like this not even a
Now
live
I'm
being.
really crazy. Talking
You know?
to inanimate
Yeah,
objects.
thanks a
over
lot for
here.
making me crazier. I was crazy enough. And so I'm like, so then I start my little walk and I'm going to pick some flowers to like put in a planter for my 24 hours I'm there. And I'm talking to them as I'm walking, you know, and I'm just talking to myself kind of really, but you know, as if things they might want to hear about. So I see like a motion to my left and it's back into the entrance to the river. Like there's some tree line and that's what takes you to the river. And I see some motion. I look over there and it's 2 big deer, but they're kind of like back into the woods. So you can't see all of them. And I don't have the best eyesight anymore. So I can't really make them out, but I know they're deer.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at them and they're looking at me and I'm looking at them for like 5 minutes. We're looking at each other.
Stare off.
And I'm like, this is okay. This is weird. And I was like, is this my brother's and my mom? Or like, this is a live being? Is that what they're doing? Because, you know, Native Americans.
Is this you guys? Is this you guys?
Yeah. Well, you know, Native Americans believe that.
Yes.
And my mom was the storyteller of all storytellers. And many of her stories were Indian related, Indian folklore and Indian tales. And I don't know who told her, but she had all these stories. And one of them was about that and how Indians would come back in an animal.
Yeah.
And protect their family and take care of their family and stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking. That's instantly what I think because this is a story my mom's always told me. But I'm drinking Jack Daniels
And you're all in your
since
pills and yeah.
breakfast. The sun's about to be down, so you can do that. And so
You're
I'm
out there talking to the deer.
yeah, I know the deer quotation marks. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm like talking to the deer. And then I'm like, well, it's been like 5, 6, 7 minutes somewhere around there. And I'm like, okay, I can't just stand here and stare at deer in the woods. I was afraid to move. So I finally started moving and and now I start talking and I'm talking to the deer. And I'm like, okay, all right, if you're his own mom, you're going to sit and listen. You're not going to run off because deer will run off.
Yes.
They didn't run off and they just stood there. And then after a few minutes, they moved forward a little bit and then they moved forward a little bit more. And they were moving towards me, but not like in a bad way. Like they were listening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then as they came out of the trees to listen, I realized one is a very large buck with amazing set on them. And then the other one is a doe, but a very large doe. And which is unusual for this part of Texas. This is not where the big deer are.
Yeah.
So, but they're
That's so
regular
cool.
deer. They're just really big ones for that area. And they're beautiful. And I'm just like, all right, this might actually be them. This is fucking weird.
This might be legit.
So I keep talking to him and I'm giving him a hard time about dying. And I'm just talking about what's up in life and just about, you know, shit in my life. And I sat and talked to deer for 20 minutes and they didn't move.
Wow. That is so neat.
I mean, they did move, but they didn't run.
Yeah.
And which is weirder. I could see him freezing. Like, does she see me?
Yeah.
But no, they were like walking towards me more and more. So eventually I was like, okay, I can't just keep talking to deer. So and the sun's going down. I'm like, I got to go in.
Y'all want to come inside?
I mean, I think I said that. I mean, you know, and then, but they
Y'all want
jumped.
a drink?
Yeah. And it's my mom's favorite. That's why I
You
drink.
should have put a cup of Jack out.
I'm going to tell you that's why I drink Jack Daniels when I go there. And you know this because it smells like my mom. So that was my mom's drink of choice. So then I'm like, okay. And then they jump over the fence. They were on my property and they jump over the fence line to the next property, which used to be our family property, but it's not anymore. And they stare at me there. They don't run off. And then, so altogether 30 minutes maybe of me where the deer were very close, but probably 10 minutes of it on the other side of the fence. Mm-hmm. And then finally they just wandered off. They didn't run off. I had walked up and down the driveway twice talking to them and they did not run off. And I'm talking like I talk to you, like I'm not whispering.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've in my whole life, I was raised in deer country. I have never had deer do that. So I was like, well, that was weird. Made me a little scared maybe.
That's pretty cool. I think
It was really cool. And so then I come back to the house and I'm like, all right, I need to do some more work on the house while I'm up. You know, I'm not going to just go to bed. And so I'm playing my music and everything. And I really wasn't scared the whole time. And Erica had told me when I told her I was staying by myself, she goes, and she has stayed by herself before because, you know, Erica loves the cabin. And she was like, get ready for nighttime. It's really creepy. And I have stayed there before myself as well, but like not for such a long period of time to overthink it. Like I just was able to keep myself busy.
Yeah.
Like not at night, you know. I've stayed there a night before by myself, but like not a weekend. So I was like, no, I'm fine, Erica. I grew up there. It's no big deal. So I go into the house and I'm like doing shit and everything. And I go into the sunroom and we have double doors that go into the sunroom that are glass doors. And I guess I've been drinking Jack Daniels all day. And I caught a glance of myself, like a reflection from the door. I jumped 5 feet. I swear.
Like, what is that? Oh, bitch, that's me.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Oh my God.
And then this is another thing that happened not in chronological order because it happened the first thing in the morning. But I walked out the back door and I walked to the carport area and there a bird has made a bird's nest right above the carport area on the light. Mm-hmm. And it did not like me being there. And it starts nosediving at me.
Freaking kamikaze dude.
Yeah, it did. And, that was my weekend. I'm sure there's more to my weekend than just that. But that was the bulk of my weekend.
I'm sad that I missed out. I really wanted to go.
You know what? It could have been just the two of us, and that would have been really cool too.
Yeah, it would.
But I did get a lot done, and I think I needed that time alone. You know, I really enjoyed myself. I'm not gonna lie.
That's an important thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, was one of my therapy things to do is to make sure that I go out by myself somewhere. I have to make myself go somewhere by myself. That's really hard for me to do, actually. Yeah. I've gotten so used to like being around either my friends or family or something that I don't even like to go grocery shopping alone. Like, it's a very hard thing for me to do.
I've always been good at being alone. Like I kind of like dinners by myself. I'm known to go to dinner by myself I invite no one on purpose. Like I like my time alone. I've been single long. I mean, like I would lived on my own for 15 years, you know. I had my children. But when you have 4 children and you're the only adult, you want the fuck out.
I could see that.
I will go eat anywhere by myself for a long period of time if no one will talk to me. It's awesome. And
amen, sister.
But I am a talker too, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I have no one. I was talking to Mom and Joel the whole fucking weekend, man. I mean, they were probably like, "Shut up, we have heard enough. Keep your problems to yourself, bitch. What? Fix that shit. What's wrong with you?
You need some self-regulation. I don't know.
Where's Kelly?
Where the hell's Kelly at? We're having to take the brunt of this force right now.
I know. Anyways, that was my weekend. It was wonderful. I realized it wasn't my conventional weekend there, but I had a really good time cleaning house.
I'm glad that you did.
Thank you very much. And fun fact, we rent the cabin out to friends only. And so
VIP situation.
VIP. I don't like just anyone in the cabin. And so that's what I'm prepping for. So, when we rent it was ready.
Yeah.
So, and for us too. So I'm like doing shit, and my sister-in-law comes over, and she's moving an old truck out of the barn that we have there, and she was like, I'm thinking I'm gonna put a pool. She loves pools to play pool.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I'm gonna get a pool table and put it in the barn.
The barn.
Okay, y'all. Let me tell you about this barn. First off, it's not an enclosed barn. It has 2.5 walls. Would you say?
Yeah.
So the front of it is exposed, and part of the side. And so when I was a kid growing up, my grandfather would put hay in there, but he'd put in the corner that had walls. And then the rest of it, he'd park a truck or he'd park a tractor or he had a workshop or whatever the case is. And when I was a kid, you'd see snakes in the hay. Like I had a face-to-face time one time with a rattlesnake, scared the shit out of me. So you didn't like to play in the hay. But I knew not to play in the barn because there are snakes there. And and these are not snakes. These are not rat snakes. These are rattlesnakes.
Every time that we've gone out there, someone has
seen a snake. Yeah. So I don't like the barn. I'm not stupid. I was raised to know better.
You got to respect it.
Yeah, that's the snake's house.
That is the snake farm.
And they can have it.
It is straight up.
Yes.
That is the club. It is snake farm.
Of snakes. And so I'm like, what? And she was like, yeah, I'm going to put a pool table in there. And I was like, so you can play pool with the snakes? And I was like, I mean, we can't let renters use that. They will die. They're city people.
Yes,
they don't know.
Them into freaking snake farm. They're going to die.
And she was like, I think it'll be okay. I said, and then what happens when your ball goes down the hole and you have to reach your hand in there? Are you reaching it? I am not reaching my hand in there.
You have to get a little grabber.
Yeah, it's her grabber. She's got one. You've seen it. She really does. To catch snakes. My sister-in-law carries a grabber with her to catch rattlesnakes. She has no fear. We're thankful she didn't just use her hand. So she was like, okay, that That's accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It was a really good idea.
she
but-
still wants to do it, but she's going to restrict it where only we can use it. And I was like, I'm not even interested.
I'm sorry. I'm not that brave.
No, fuck that. Sherry Vaughn is coming from the grave to tell me, bitch, I raised you better. So,
Oh my God.
that was my weekend. It was wonderful. What about your weekend, Kelly?
Well,
Tell me all about it.
I was sad that I missed out on going to the cabin.
I
but
was too.
I really did have a good time. I had a event that it's called Cops for Kids, and they do it every year, or they've been doing it pretty annually, I guess. And anytime that I've been here in Waxahachie with the Boys and Girls Club, Salvation Army, I volunteered to go and do that. Really, I'm volunteered or voluntold.
I'm voluntold.
Like they come to me like, you're doing this event.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So I paint faces. I do a lot of things. I paint faces. I make balloon animals. I have a bounce house. I can give lessons and different stuff. You know, I'm a walking
Jack of all trades.
walking entertainment right there. And so, but I pretty much only do events that are booked through the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
I'm pretty exclusive to them.
Do you remember the time that we talked about you maybe doing this as a part-time job? What was the business card going to say again?
I don't even I don't remember.
Do you remember this conversation though?
I think it was just going to say Kelly Entertainment, and it was going to have my...
I don't remember what you
Something like
said,
that.
but it sounded almost suggestive. And I was
It
like,
did.
I don't know that this is going to gear the right audience.
Well, the thing is, there's really no age limit to the parties
Who
that I will
enjoys
put
your
on.
enjoy-
If you pay for the time, you're going to get the... You know,
You're gonna
what I
get a
mean?
time.
You're going to get that time.
Okay, this is how that conversation went. And I'm over here being mom. I'm like, I don't know if you're listening to what you're saying.
And do you notice I did not make the business cards? You're welcome. Okay.
You did not.
I decided to let that venture just stay as it is, and you have to book me through the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay,
And let me tell you, them cops, they book me through
I
the
bet
Boys
they
and
do.
Girls
I bet they do. And where's the fire department? Because I'm just
I don't
saying.
know if they do anything annually. I'm going to have to get
Into that information.
I'll look into that.
Look into your public servants.
I'm going to write that down. Hold on.
Yeah. Let me write that on this plate over here.
Where the F are the firefighters?
Yeah. All right. So what do y'all do? What was your?
Oh, so I get to the event. It was at Getzendaner Park this year. They've had it, I think, a couple different places, if I want to say correctly, but it might have been always at Getzendaner. But it's a pretty big event. They had like tents. They were giving away bikes. Everything that happens there is completely free. So they have like snow cone people out there. They have food out there, bounce house. It's a freaking carnival, and everything is free to the families that come out. You don't pay for
That's
anything.
awesome.
And they did this thing where
Is it just kids that go there, or anyone can come?
anyone. It's open to the public.
That's awesome.
So yeah, a lot of our kids show up, and a lot of kids, the Y comes out, like all kinds of companies come out for this, and they have different things that they're giving away. They were giving t-shirts and bubbles and bags of different stuff. Like it was really awesome. I didn't get to see most of it though, because I was busy. All right. I was
Painting faces.
yes,
a hot commodity.
I was a hot commodity. And of course, when I get there, I'm just walking towards the tents, and there's just cops everywhere. And I'm just like, don't fuck up. Stay the course. And so
They're like, I'm gonna have to pat you down.
I was looking for somebody that was in charge, but that wasn't in uniform. Okay, that was what I was doing, and that was hard. It was very hard to do. So I finally someone finds me, because they can tell I'm walking around with my stuff. Like,
Where'd I go?
Where'd I go? Trying to avoid contact with all these police officers. And then they were like, oh, we have you set up over here. So they're walking me over. And who am I set up right next to? None other than DJ Alex. I was
you are?
right next door to his little DJ booth, because he does it every year for they get him too. They get the best of the best for this thing. Okay,
why was I not invited?
pull
What
out
would
the
I offer? Everybody come over and just talk to me. What do you want to talk about?
Change my mind.
True story. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So they set us up. I'm right next to DJ Alex. I have a helper with me for a little bit of the time, but she had to leave a little bit early. I knew that she was going to have to leave early, but she was a lot of help. She's my friend Tori. She works at the Boys and Girls Club too. Shout out to Tori. She's awesome. She was like, I feel like I'm not doing anything, because she wasn't painting. I was the only painter. I knew I was going to be the only painter. And I even said this to my bosses. I was like, I'm going to be the only painter. It gets bigger every year. Okay.
Yeah.
And the last time I did it, I had to have somebody there to like manage a line for me,
Yeah.
crowd control. Cause
Yeah.
then I have kids that want to huddle around me. They want to watch what I'm doing. And I need my space, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So she was a lot of help. She's like, I didn't do anything, but she did. She was like refilling my water and getting
Yeah.
me paper towels and getting me things that I needed. So she was a really good assistant. And that's why I had to tell you, I was like, I'm only as good as my assistant. Okay. And you're
understand.
doing a really good job. And then, of course, Alex is coming over and berating us as well because I'm his favorite person.
Yes.
Right? Yes. And so, of course, he's letting everybody know that.
Yeah, every time Alex, he works here for Al sometimes doing, if you've listened to us very long, he's been on one of our episodes where we interviewed him because he's like Ellis County's premier DJ.
Yes.
And he's a really great guy.
He's awesome.
And so every time Kelly and I walk in anywhere where he is working, he announces our arrival.
Yes.
He'll be in the middle of something.
He'll be like, look at these supermodels walking
The
in.
supermodels are here. Zada and Kelly, the tallest women ever.
Sexiest, tallest women
Yes.
in Ellis County. Like, he's a good hype man.
He is
Okay?
a good hype man.
And God love him.
And he
love him.
also, when we were launching the podcast, he invited us on his radio show because he does a radio show
Yes.
also here. And we got to launch the podcast on his radio show.
Yes, we did.
So he's a friend of the podcast.
He's a very good friend and a very good promoter and
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
And so he was coming over and giving us a hard time, of course. And he got Tori to be on the mic and he's like, hey, Tori, because she has a thick accent. And he's like, hey, Tori, what are they giving away here? And she said, bikes. Because they were giving away bikes.
Oh, I was like, what?
And he starts dying laughing. He's like, whoa, wait, Miss
Wait,
Tori.
Southern accent or is that like a northern
I don't
accent?
even know, but it's kind of like mixed. I don't know. But he was like, what are we giving away? And she's like, backs.
Backs?
Backs. I was
That's
like, oh my
funny.
gosh, it was so great. I was cracking up. And also when I got there, they had me at this picnic table. And the picnic table was wooden and it was the kind that had the seats built into it. Like it's all connected into one thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, how am I going to make this work? Cause I really need a chair and I need to have the kid in a chair. But I figured out I'm just going to have him sit at the very end of the bench facing outward. And at first I didn't have a chair. I had no other option than I had to get on my knees right in front of them and as painting their face. The lady that came over and showed me where I was going to be, I had asked, I was like, is there any way that I can get a chair? Because I was told I was going to have a set up. All I had to bring was my stuff and I didn't need anything else. So I didn't have a chair. And
do you randomly have your own face paint stuff?
I always do. Like the Boys and Girls Club provides me with everything that I need. Okay. So anytime I just give them a list. This is what I need. They get it for me, and then they tell me where to go. Okay. So, yeah. And
if you let me know next time, I will come and paint faces with you.
That would be so much fun.
I really would. Yeah. If you tell me ahead of time, I'd love to do that.
All right. And
I feel capable.
So Mama, she's like, I'm going to go find you a chair. It might take me a minute because obviously it was crazy. And so I was like, that's totally fine. So I'm just like, but I already, as soon as I got there and I was setting my stuff down and it was even early, but there was people out there. It was busy. I already had a line starting to form because they were like, oh, you're the face painter. Okay.
It's Kelly.
It's Miss Kelly. So I'm like, I just got down on my knees and started painting a face. And cause was eye level to where they were at.
Yeah.
And there was no other way for me to do that. So then they sat on the bench and then when one would get done, they'd hop up and then they'd all just scoot down. To me. It was pretty cute.
That is really cute.
And so I'm just going and going and going. It's probably like an hour goes by and I'm finally get up taking them like just for a second.
Your
and
knees
like,
are hurting.
Yeah. And Miss Tori's like, she's like, I'm going to go and try to find one because obviously this lady didn't make it back. And so I was like, okay, Tori. So she goes and tries to find a chair. And she's gone for a little while. She comes back. She's like, I can't find one. Not one that's not being used. Like there's no.
You should have. I'm so close to the Boys and Girls Club. You should have sent her to my house.
Well, we don't have time for this.
Steal a chair.
I know. And so then she did say because DJ Alex had a stool that he wasn't sitting down and using. So she's like, do you want me to just ask Alex if we can use the chair? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. But then so they brought it over to me, but it was too high. I couldn't sit on it. Wasn't working. I was still having to bend over to be eye level to where I needed to be.
Yeah.
The stool was too high. So I was like, that's not even helping me. Well, my boss is there and she's like coming and going because she's making her rounds and doing her thing.
Yeah.
So she finally comes over and I'm telling her I need a chair. She's like, what can I do to help you? I was like, I really need a chair. I was like, this isn't working. My knees are like
hurting.
I mean, stop.
That's not how I like to skin my knees.
I know, right? I was like, I'm putting in way too much work right now.
Right.
And so she's like, okay, I'm good. So 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds.
She has a chair.
She has a chair for me. And I was like, how did you just do that? She's like, I went to the chief. I was like, oh, I bet you did. Oh, she's like, yeah, he owed me a favor. I was like,
he owes all of us one.
well, you let him know I owe him one now. So.
Aw, well, that's good. This is all good.
Yeah,
That's good.
And it was
I missed you, but I'm glad you got to do that.
It was fun.
I would have done it too. If I were you, I would have stayed to do that. That's cool.
They closed it down at 2:00, and I was there until 2:45.
Okay.
Because I wasn't gonna tell a kid I wasn't gonna paint their face. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
yeah.
and they were waiting, so I was like, I'm here until the last one's gone. And so I was.
I think most people that listen to the podcast don't understand the level. Like Kelly doesn't have kids by choice,
Nope.
and but you're really good with kids.
I take that as a compliment, and I strive to be, because
So,
I really love my
You
job.
are really good with them, and so I feel like people probably don't understand the extent of how good you are with them. So I'm gonna give an example. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. My daughter right now is currently trying to kill me emotionally. It's difficult. She's 17. That's really all I need to say.
It really is.
It is. And so I'm like she's having a difficult time going to school for her like senior year. She's about to graduate. She has senioritis. She's done.
Yeah.
And she don't want to get up in the morning. And I'm already at work, so there's only so much I can do. So yesterday I'm like, listen, these are your options. You can't miss any more school. So either I have to change shifts to be there to take you, or which means I get off work later, which means you have to ride the bus home, or you can just get up and do it, or Kelly offered to come over and help you get ready and make sure you go to school. But I don't want to do that because Kelly is an amazing friend, but that's not fair to her, and you need to just pull your weight. And she's like, oh yeah, that's the one I want.
Of course.
She'll come over every day and take care of me. And then Rick is like, no, she won't. That's a reward. No, she won't. That's a reward. Sunday just showed up. Come on in, girl.
We love you, Sunday. It's girls' night, guys. It's girls' night.
Yeah, so that's what we determined.
They're my girl.
I know. Sunday, just, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and turn the microphone on. Have a seat. You're in.
Say less.
Say less. So, I mean, just to like kind of sum it up. So even though Kelly is not a mom, she's amazing with kids, but she's also going to put them in their place. So like my kids will like do or say something stupid, and she's like, "Did you really think about that?"
Let's just do a little self-evaluation real quick, okay?
Is this what you want to put your mom through?
Well, and that's what I was saying. The reason I offered to do that is because I understand how crucial this time is right now for her to be able to graduate and not mess it all up, and it's too hard. You're not able to be there. And it seems to me like she gets so worked up about getting herself ready to the point, because looks matter to her at this point in her life. And that can be very crippling if you can't get done how you feel like you need to look to be able to go and face the world.
Yes.
And I can understand that, because I have to do that too. It's part of my therapy as I'm getting ready for the day to look the way I want to look, and it just helps me be more confident.
I think it makes everybody feel better.
And
Sunday, chime in. Stop acting shy, bitch.
She's just listening. She got
There's anything you want to part in. Everybody loves you on the podcast, so just talk when you want to. Sunday's here, our girl. If you haven't listened before, this is one of our ladies.
Dressing for success.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so I know that having somebody there to help her do the things like curl her hair, pick out an outfit, like those are simple things, in our minds, but in her mind, it's not. You know what I mean? She doesn't know what to put together to make herself feel the best.
Right.
And so she's
that age, your body is changing.
Yeah. And
so like as soon as you figure it out, it changes. And you're like, shit.
Yeah, and you're
now I have an ass. I didn't last week. What do I do now?
What do I do with all this?
What do I do? Mom, you got a lot of this. What do you do? She said that's what her problem has been lately is her body has changed and she doesn't know what to do with it. And she don't know how to dress and she don't want to go to school because she don't know how to dress.
So that's a big stressor. And so really what she needs is just somebody who will be there and help her, not somebody who's going to scold her or not somebody who's going to tell her you're messing up and if you don't get there, you're going to fail and da-da-da-da. It's just, okay, what do you need? okay, this is what you need. I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to help you get ready so that you feel capable and ready and to go to school and face your day. And I think that having that start for her would make a big impact on the rest of the day, because that's once you get on the wrong track in that mindset, it's so hard for them to get off of that.
And that's
track.
what happens to her. So I go to work today and I'm telling my boss, I'm like, listen, my daughter is really struggling getting to school right now. And it is the last like 3.5 weeks of school, and she's going to graduate, or she's not, because she won't go to school suddenly because she's struggling. And, you know, she's autistic. Her anxiety gets her. Mm-hmm. And it's just, we have hit peaks and valleys where she typically loves school and goes to school. Like, it's actually been something she's usually enjoyed, but that's not where she is right now. And she's struggling. And so I told my boss, I was like, here's my option. I'm either going to have to leave. I told him, if she tries not to go to school, I'm leaving. I don't care if you have to write me up. I'm leaving. My kid's graduation trumps anything else. But if she does it once, that means at that point I'm leaving and taking care of it and coming back. But that means at that point I have to change shifts and I have to start closing so that I can be there every morning to make sure she goes to school. But my kid's priority, and my boss, who has no children, who doesn't always understand me, and I know he's young, so oftentimes, I'm not going to say we butt heads, but it's just he doesn't have kids. He didn't get it. And he was like, I got it. You're right. Do it.
That's awesome.
I support you. Do what you need to do. So I was like, it's just like 3 weeks. Give me like 3 weeks to get through this shit. But I need this kid to graduate, or we got another year of this. Do you want to go through another year of this with me? He goes, no, ma'am, I don't. Nope. I said, none of us does. So let me go.
Exactly.
So yesterday I had a rough day Sunday yesterday. I almost killed a kid because I needed to. I got into it with her on the way home from school, and I am, because she's 17. Yeah.
That's a bad age.
Their mouth, you want to rip it off their body. Oh, yeah. I got onto her. She got mouthy. I take a kid home from school every day. Bless his heart, is in the truck for this. Uh-huh. And my motto in parenting is fuck around and find out.
That's right. Give your heart to God.
I'm old school. Yeah. So we're on the way home, and she is fucking around and finding out. And I'm like, nah, 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 nah. And this poor kid, he's just like perfectly still. And, I'm like, Jace, sorry, but I'm not stopping.
You got to buckle up.
So today he texts me. He never texts me except, yes, I need a ride, or don't. I know I don't need a ride. And he's a freshman. This is a young boy. He texts me, everything all right? I'm like, it's good. You need a ride today? Yep. I said, I promise I will not cuss my kid out today. And he goes, no, she needed it. It's good. My dad would have done the same. And now, mind you, this text between him and I, his dad's on. It's a group text. His dad's like, LOL. So I'm guessing he went home and
he let him in.
He might have spilled the beans.
He spilled them.
Every once in a while you have to do that with them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
I do have one more funny little story from this weekend. Obviously, I saw some kids from the Boys and Girls Club that came out. Well, on Monday, one of the girls who had seen me, she's like, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Thank you for painting my face. And I was like, you're so welcome. Well, she had come out there with her dad. And they came late. So she didn't think she was going to be able to get her face painted because technically we were done.
Closed, yeah.
But I told her, I was like, no, I'm going to paint your face. Just once I get these kids that are already in line, just get in line. I'll paint your face. So once it was done, I gave her, quick little rainbow and some stuff. It was pretty cute. So her dad was standing there and talking to me. My mom was there and my sister was there still. They they stayed until I was done. And so they were my assistants, and it was fun. Well, she was like, my dad said you were cute. I said, oh, yeah. I said, well, your dad's cute, too. And then there's a couple of girls that are around me at this time.
And they were like,
Madison, yeah. And then Madison, of course, she's like Queen Bee. She's like, oh, what about Dante? I said, yeah, Dante's cute, too. I said, just because you have a boyfriend doesn't mean people stop being attractive. That's fine to say that somebody's attractive. Like, you can still be respectful to the person that you're with. Like, there's no problem.
You can look at the menu as long as you eat at home.
Right?
There you go.
And so they're like, oh, okay. You can see it like the real.
Every time Sunday comes, she's got a zinger.
She's got them. She like lays in bed and
Which
thinks about them.
when Kelly's done, we're going to discuss your weekend. So get ready. Somebody be thinking.
Oh, my weekend.
All right.
And so then they're like, okay, yeah, we get it. And then she says, yeah, my dad likes the girls that have big butts. And I'm like, well, so does Tante. And of course, they're just cracking up. And oh my gosh, I was like, okay, let's change the subject.
Oh, my gosh.
That's cute.
That's great. That's great.
Did Dad have a fireman mustache?
He had some stuff.
Okay, I
He had some
figured.
scruff going on.
All right. I was just trying to get a mental aid.
I don't think I say people are cute if they don't have
I know, that's why I asked.
I gotta have facial hair.
I'm the same.
I like
I'm the
grass on
same.
playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care where it is, but it needs to be somewhere on that face. Except a soul patch, I can't go there.
Yeah, I get it now.
No, that's where I draw the line.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What happened with your weekend
I
with
need
your
to-
ladies to
I
the
need to hear
Scarborough?
about it. About your
what
your
happened?
corset ride.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
that's
been
right.
waiting for
Corset
this.
ride on Saturday.
Oh, sorry.
It was good. We rode from Dallas down to Waxahachie. 2 people showed up in corsets. Of course, I just had on my tank top that I had
You
on
didn't
here.
wear a corset.
Honey, I can't go down the highway with all these hanging out.
That's
This
true.
stuff it won't stay in
It'll
a corset.
fly. That's true. You got a lot going
And
on
knowing my
there.
luck, some bug hit me right between, and that'd be the end of that.
Yeah, fair.
But she wore her sexy shirt that she showed us.
So I wore
Remember?
my sexy shirt instead.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
hit on several times. Had a great time.
You had
It
a
was
good time.
fun.
And the ladies, what do you think about the ladies?
They're fun. They're just a bunch of badasses. And
I love
absolutely
it. And they're beautiful women.
Yeah, riding my motorcycle.
Or just
Makes sense.
That's your pack right there.
Birds
Rode
of
in
a
the front,
feather.
and the husband's rode in the back.
I love it. I'm so glad you had a good time.
It's great.
Yeah.
I had a busy weekend.
Look at her
So what
making
else did I do?
friends.
So I did that Friday, Saturday. Had a date Saturday night.
Oh, you did?
Oh, tell.
Yeah.
Spill the tea.
With who?
Spill it.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I hadn't quite figured it out. He's Puerto Rican.
All right, that's fun.
He is nothing you would ever see me with.
Is he young? Old? Where is he?
He's 5 years younger than I am, so it's not.
So I
bad.
like it.
I need more of a description. Come on.
He's
Puerto Rican.
Probably about 6'2".
Where's his facial
okay,
hair?
nice.
Dark.
Where's the facial hair?
Oh, he carries a full beard with
Killing
a red
it.
patch right in the
Killing
middle.
it.
Check,
Bald on
check.
top.
We like, okay.
Oh, even double check.
Yeah. Soul we got you.
Yeah,
Ray, that's like the
22 years,
radar. That
retired
means
from the Army.
zone in.
So, and then Wednesday night, I had a date with the guy at the Harley store.
Oh.
I don't even know about this guy.
Yeah, we
well,
talked
I
about him
haven't
before.
seen you.
We
Yeah,
talked. Yeah,
well,
we
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I dropped my bike Saturday and I pinched my.
You dropped your bike?
Yeah, you ought to see the bruise on my leg.
Oh.
Anyway, had to have a new clutch cable. He let me use his discount.
Oh.
And then he hooked me up with somebody that's going to repair my bike for free.
Cha-ching. That's what I'm telling you. I love dating mechanics,
I
man.
need to go. I need to go
Wednesday night-
backwards. You dropped your bike. Are you?
we'll
I
talk
mean,
about
everything's
that
okay.
Oh, honey, you ought to see this.
Show it. Ooh.
Where was this?
Down at the Renaissance Festival.
Oh,
So anyway, it's no big deal.
I'm glad you're all
So
right.
get my clutch cable fixed. So then Wednesday we went to bike night together at the Harley shop. He introduced me to his coworkers, introduced me to all his friends, and we went to dinner and had pancakes after. So life is good.
What
I'm
came
enjoying
out of the
Wait,
pancakes?
Absolutely
wait.
nothing
What
but
happened
kiss
between
and hug
dinner and the
when we went
pancakes?
Absolutely nothing. I tell you what, I couldn't wait to come see you because we need to have a serious discussion.
Oh, I can't
I'm
wait.
enjoying this dating play in the field, though. It's fun.
Hey, hand me that reckoning ball.
I got you. I literally just, did you see me look at it? I was like, what can I ask her right
Is
now?
Sunday gonna get lucky with the Harley guy?
Wait, no. Did she already get lucky?
Oh, did she?
Nope.
Hush your mouth.
I have
I'm
not.
sorry, Sunday, but the reckoning ball does not lie.
For
It
those
was
that
a Puerto Rican.
okay, wait, I have to preface.
It was
getting
the
better.
wrong one. Okay, was the
What?
Puerto Rican good in bed?
That was the answer. This is our Southern ball, like an 8-ball back in the 80s, but it's the reckoning ball. It gives you Southern answers.
Oh, it said no, ma'am.
Oh, it lies.
Oh no.
I don't kiss and
Didn't
tell.
we already determine that it lies before?
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah, well, I don't kiss and tell, but
But you already did. We already know.
sorry,
It
I
was the
messed
Puerto
with the
Rican.
ooh, shit.
All right, so was it good enough?
Them
You would
Latin
go, would you
lovers,
go?
There's no joke about that.
Amen.
I've never dated
Amen.
a Latin man. This is the first time. Shit.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
I've never
been there.
dated a
Market
black
the moon,
man
Ozzy.
before. This is my first time.
I can't say any of that.
Let's just say he cannot break up with me. Okay, I would go crazy. I think
Really?
I think that they turn women crazy. Like they do.
You know, though,
And there's a reason that
I don't
they say
think he's your average man, though.
I don't either.
Dante
He's
it couldn't be more your, like, not a lot of men could handle
suits
you.
her.
No.
Most men
suits her.
could, their insecurities would get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree.
I'm a big Dante fan.
Ditto. I'm all about some Dante.
Dante fan.
Yeah, I am too. I'm pro Dante.
Me too.
That's going to be a shirt.
Yeah, I'm pro Dante. Y'all need a mug. I'm pro Dante. Dante. Dante 2024.
There we go.
He just got his new Jeep last night, and
Dante 2024 and 2028.
he is so happy about it. And as soon as we got home, he was like, "Baby, want to go for a ride?" I was like, "You know, I do. You know, I
said
do."
we have plans this weekend to go antique shopping. If you want to join us Saturday, we're going to Antique Alley. We'll tell you about it later.
Oh yeah, we haven't even told. Yeah, that's where we're going, guys.
Yeah, we're going to Antique Alley this
We don't know
weekend.
where it is at, but we're going to find it.
We heard it's around here.
Oh,
And-
I have arena football Saturday.
So popular.
Yeah, right.
Get my
now,
bike
right.
fixed Saturday, arena football Saturday night. Yeah. And then shopping all day Sunday.
She's popular.
Okay.
Well, we're going to
getting
Antique.
out.
Well,
I'm getting
we're
out of the house
going
this summer.
shopping.
Kelly's like, just come over in the morning. We're going to start drinking.
Yeah, I got the champagne is chilled and ready. I'm telling you.
We're in a girls' day Saturday. So,
Got some
good.
cranberry
I'm
juice
doing
in
mine
there
Sunday.
too.
yeah. So we're
it's
excited about it.
nice.
Anyway, what else? Have we covered everything?
I mean,
Look how well we wing this podcast.
this is all
Look
I
how
had
small
written
our
down.
list
Yeah.
is.
I
We've
just want
talked
y'all
for
to
an hour.
know every day I have checked to see if an episode has dropped, and I'm like, what are they doing?
I-
How am I supposed to put on my makeup without my girlfriend? Come on
I
now.
put on Facebook today. I was like, listen, y'all, we're gonna be a little behind. It might be this weekend because I am crazy and I had a breakdown last night and Kelly had to help me through it, so we didn't record. So it'll be here later. Get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Right.
And everybody was like, LOL. I was like, no, I really had a breakdown, man. My kid's trying to kill me. I don't cry. I was crying. Poor Kelly. Like, Kelly had to hug me and it was her idea. That's how bad it was.
Oh, wow. That is bad.
Right. I initiated it a couple of
Wow.
times.
So does this mainly have to do with like getting ready for school, like getting dressed for school that she's having? this month?
All of the above.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Like, lay out her
just,
clothes the night before.
no, it's not that. It is.
It's her being able to actually get up, get out of bed, get going, getting motivated. And if she doesn't have a mom or something
I'm
figure
at work already.
that will encourage her to do it, it's like she's like, no. She just automatically is not going to do it.
She shuts down because she hadn't had her medicine yet. You know, she's autistic.
Yeah.
So she takes her medicine in the morning, and so you have to get her to take her medicine before she's going to function. But if she's not functioning at all, she won't take her medicine.
take her medicine. Yeah.
And it becomes a
got it.
snowball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's not normally quite like this in the morning. This is a new issue. She's always loved school. So it's kind of like, what the hell's going on? But, you know, senioritis, AKA life, I don't know. And
is a lot.
she's trying to kill me. That's what it boils down to.
Well, I'm not going to let her.
We
okay?
showed up to
not
record
gonna
last
let
night and we instead sat here and talked on not recording.
Yeah,
and
we
her
just sat
helping me
here
through it.
and I was just like, we're just not even going to push the button because that's not important right now.
Yeah, we
What's
just had, she had to
important
just
is you.
help me through it.
Well, yeah.
And I don't normally do that, but I had a fucking breakdown last night. I just had enough.
Because when we break down, we break down.
I mean, because it doesn't happen often, but your kid's the most important thing in your life, as you know. Like that's,
oh, I know.
I have
They're my
inve-
favorite assholes.
Yeah, that's what I say all the
Nobody
time.
can kill them but me.
Exactly. And so she said to me when I got home last night, she was like, "Oh, did you finish recording?" I said, "I didn't record. Kelly helped me through you. I was crying. Like I was having a hard time. You were crying. I don't ever cry. You were crying." I was like, "Yeah, bitch." No, I didn't say that.
I know.
But I was like, I mean, I have been, and she said this to me yesterday when we were in the middle of the argument. You're just worried about you. Because I said, you have to graduate. This is, you know, you're too good to let yourself down and da-da-da. And I deserve this too. Because it has been a hard fucking 17 years with this kid. Like you could add all my other 3 kids up together and you wouldn't get a quarter of what the work I put into this one kid. And I was like, I deserve this too. And you will walk that damn stage if it kills me and you both. Okay?
right. You worked
I
too
will
hard to
drag
get
your
this up.
fucking ass across that stage. And she was
And
like,
we
you're,
will help your mom.
yeah. And she was
Sure
like, you're making this about you. I was like, it is a fucking about me too.
That's right.
It's not just you. Because where would you be without me all these years?
That's right.
Like, I'm the one that gets up every day and pays for all your shit. But also, I've gotten to your therapy and found the doctors and found the help you need and all the extra shit you have to do when you have a kid that has special need.
Oh,
And on top of being a teenager, you know? But we had a good night last night. Once I got home and really worked through it, and I feel like we're going to pull this through. This kid's been an AB student her whole life. I just can't get her to go to school.
I'm rooting for you.
I'm rooting for me and her because no one wants me in prison. I don't look
Maybe
good
we
in
need
orange.
T-shirts that say Team Zeta.
Right.
Team Zeta.
I'm always Team Zeta.
Dante Zeta 2024. I'll be his vice president.
Oh man, y'all better hold on.
Y'all know I'm going to talk over him.
Yeah.
He'd just be in the background, like, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna
She's crazy, but it's Kelly's best friend.
put that in the. We're gonna put a pin in this over here.
Yeah. We're gonna park this in the parking lot.
I'm gonna change the account number.
We're gonna take that red phone out of her office.
We're gonna switch the new codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my day yesterday, but I'm good. I'm not as crazy today. I'm a little less
Amen.
It happens.
crazy. Yeah, it is what it is.
Here's to
Happens to the best of
girlfriends.
Here is the girlfriend.
girlfriends. I don't have a drink
And
when you're on later.
cheers your iPhone.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's 420, baby.
I listen. This morning I get up and I get up. I get a fucking crack of dawn. So I get up and
I'm right behind you.
Yeah, and so I get up and I go to the bathroom and I pee and I usually am watching like either TikTok or YouTube as I'm getting ready. And I put on TikTok, and the very first TikTok video is a Jack in the Box like ad on TikTok.
Yes, my kid sent it to me.
Is it not the funniest thing you ever
I started
seen?
laughing.
Explain what it is.
Okay, so it is it's Jack in the Box guy and Jack, and he has all these shakes around him that are yellow, and he's like, they have the new Pineapple Express shake, and he's like, Pineapple Express 418, 419, 420. And then he looks straight at the camera and he's like, 420. But it's like Jack.
It's a nice number.
And then they made a special today. If you buy it today, a large, it was $4.20.
Really?
And so I was like, that is so funny. Like they're legit like aiming for their perfect
Tell you
customer.
what, Jack in the Box knows their audience, okay?
That's what I said. So I was like, this is so funny. And I haven't eaten Jack in the Box in years. And I was like,
Tacos when you're drunk. That's it.
right. But I haven't. So I was like, this is funny. So I immediately like send it to like 2 or 3 people. And then I get it to work and I show it to like 2 or 3 people because it's just funny. And they're all laughing at it. So I had a really crazy day at work today. My boss, bless his heart, had a rough day too. And you can tell he's struggling. He never cusses. And he's like, fuck at one point. And I'm laughing because I like it when he cusses. And I'm like, I'm like, and so it's time for me to go to lunch. And he's always bringing me stuff. When he got to work this morning, I have 2 bosses. I have one that doesn't have a lot of like, he doesn't show emotion at all. The other one is like awesome. He's Gen X. He's my partner in crime. I love this man. And he says, he'll bring me and the other girl that works in the office. He brought everybody donuts and he knows we don't want donuts. So he brings us kolaches, just the 2 of us, That's know, he's a good guy. So, and I think his wife and I would be best friends if I could just meet her. Like he talks about her all the time. And I'm like, that's my bitch, man. I tell him all the time. I love her.
Bring her around.
Yeah. And so he says, well, so he gets to work today. I show him, he laughs. And I'm like, so it's almost lunchtime and he's had a rough day. He started cussing. I said, hey, I'm about to go to lunch. I said, what do you think about pineapple? You like pineapple? He goes, yeah, I like pineapple. I was like, I'll be back. So I go to Jack in the Box. I get us both a Pineapple Express shake.
Oh my gosh.
I come back. I'm like, I got you. And he could not have stopped grinning. He was like, that's why you're my favorite employee. I mean, ever. I was like, thank you.
My boss says, you know what today is, don't you? I said, well, yeah, it's 420. He said, oh, and how do you know that? You're so quick to respond. I said, I was a behavior teacher for 20 years. I know what 420 is. Come on.
Marilee.
Half my kids went to prison. I put out cookies and milk in case Snoop Dogg came by.
Yeah, so she sent you the text too, right? Marilee, our friend, sent us all a text that was like, everybody remember, last night, remember that tomorrow is whatever, 420. Everybody put out their
420 Eve.
Yeah, and you put out your cookies and milk for Snoop Dogg. And so I responded for shizzle my nizzle because that's what Snoop says.
Oh, shizzle.
As she laughed so hard. I mean, via text. Yeah. I was like, I'm funny. I was laughing at myself. And then Kelly's like, she really did laugh.
She told me, she's like, I LOL'd, like for real, LOL'd. I was like, I'm so proud.
Yeah.
My friends, guys. These are my friends.
I got you.
After the day you had yesterday, probably so.
I mean, anyway.
I have a funny story to tell about Mary Lee since we're talking about her. I left my phone in the car the other day, in Dante's car.
Oh, I heard about that.
So
she texted me.
he messages her and says, "Hey, Kelly left her phone in my car. So if you'll let her know, I don't know if she knows it or whatever." So he brings it to my work when he's coming home from work. He stops
Drops
by
it
my
off,
work and drops it off to me. I'm like, "Thank you." I get it and I open it up and I have a message from Marilee. It says, "Hey, Dante wanted me to let you know that you left your phone in his car." Let me tell you, I LOL'd very hard. Okay. And then proceeded to tell everybody how blonde my best friend is. Oh my gosh. I love you, Marilee.
I love you, Marilee. That's pretty funny. Sunny's about to fall out of her chair.
Don't pee yourself, okay?
It's really funny.
I know that's a problem with you women, y'all.
I'm about to pee myself just because I am who I am. So we have to wrap this up so I can go pee because I'm old.
We're good. That's a good note to end on.
That's a good note to end on. So we will have y'all join us again next week on
Two Sides and the Truth.
Bye, y'all.
Love you.